Being unavailable and busy used to be my badge of honor. I missed important events all in the name of being busy. A few months ago, I read a book titled Soulful Simplicity. That book has a great amount of life lessons, but one that stuck with me was, stop saying you're busy, say things as they are. As you can imagine, I've been practicing simplifying my life so to make time to prioritize other activities that fulfill me. Now, these can range from activities that stimulate my mind to activities that require me to be in bed for 8 hours. Simplifying my life means that I have time to schedule doing nothing time. I fill up doing nothing time with hell yeah events. What are hell yeah events, you may ask? One of them is going to prestigious restaurants. I like going to prestigious restaurants and ordering fries and just enjoying the scenery. Now, in my defense, I order fries because they're the cheapest thing in the menu, and mostly because I can't particularly make my fries as good as theirs. So until I learn how to make my fries that good, I'll stick to ordering fries and drinks and just live my best life. I also enjoy this activity with my loved ones because it also gives me an opportunity to practice being present and being mindful in the events of the day during our conversations, because sometimes you might find that I haven't seen my loved ones in a long time and it's just all catching up and talking about what they've learned, how they've grown, and how they've been doing throughout this whole time. I'm always so grateful for such wholesome moments with loved ones. Secondly, it's learning. Learning is such a hell yeah event for me. It excites me so much. There's a lot to learn in this world. I've recently started identifying myself as a student of life. My learning isn't limited to academics only, but I'm interested in a lot of other things, from hacking, cooking, yoga, spirituality, creativity, self-help, to what's the science behind men not flushing the toilet. Learning things casually can easily be translated to how it is learning things in academia. A lot of us are still ashamed of failure only because we don't know what the purpose of failure is. Yes, failure has a purpose. I would love to tell you about it, but I don't want to spoil the experience of you learning about it. I highly suggest that you learn what the purpose of failure is for you, and it may be different for every individual. I've recently been interested in how food from other countries tastes. I always say, I love the internet because it can bring Beyonce to you in your bathroom when you're taking a dump. In this instance, it's exposed me to Asian food. Unfortunately, I can't afford to travel to Asia to experience their food and culture, but thanks to Uncle Google, I can learn how to make some of their food and have a taste of what it is that they enjoy about their food. My method of making food is always mix everything together and hope for the best. The trick with this is that I can only hope that it's similar to what they make. Other than that, I'm still proud of myself for trying. I was introduced to this idea of learning by some guy a few years ago. He told me that he had a plan of learning something new every single month for the year. At that time, he had finished learning about the botanical history of plants and how they heal. It was fascinating to hear that he's making time to educate himself outside of his degree. Prior to that, he had spent a month painting. This is not because he didn't know how to paint, but he said it's because he wants to improve his technique. Last year, my guy started selling his beautiful paintings. 3 years later, I'm subconsciously following his steps of learning something new outside my qualification. Last week, I was reading Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Beautiful book, I tell you. I was captivated by how she deals with fear and failure when it comes to her creativity. Weirdly enough, I was already in the process of recording this vlog, and I smiled when I thought of how that resonated with my experiences of learning something new. I can never get used to how books are spiritual. They always find me at the right time. Learning anything new is uncomfortable, but it's mostly fun for me. I fail so many times, laugh at myself in the process, and dance it off most of the time. Even when I get it right, I still have flaws. I have learned not to dwell on them because learning is in the process. Being present in the process makes the learning journey worthwhile. I'm always excited to suck at something new. If I find myself having an internal negative conversation about my failed attempts, I catch myself and forgive myself because I'm only human. I'm also learning kickboxing again. Last year, I started and I stopped because I got interested in other forms of physical activities such as hiking and running. My off days are basically just about slowing down and just being present in the moment, just being grateful for what I have and what I am capable of doing. And also just expanding on my capabilities, my talents, and just my creativity. Learning is a creative process. As much as we might not see it, I see it as a creative process. A frequently asked question that I get when I converse with people about what I do on my off days is, how do I make time for such things? I'm very intentional about a lot of things in my life, and this is one of them. I have a block in my calendar, my planner, where I have doing nothing time, and I know that events time. I don't compromise on that, and I don't even back down because it's all about filling up my cup before I find myself burning out or experiencing any mental exhaustion. I'll be honest with you, there is something liberating and freeing about having power over your time, deciding exactly what it is that you want to do with your time, what it is that you want to achieve. You don't necessarily need to achieve like a car or a house. Sometimes you just need to achieve peace, and that's it. That's more than enough. As the cheapskate that I am, I use YouTube for all my lessons because 1, it's free, and there's a lot that one can do on this app to expand their mental capacity. It's fascinating that it's all just a click away. Oh, I love the internet. Just to go back to the book that I spoke about, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, she speaks a lot about being childlike, and she does say that being childlike is not the same as being childish. She highly encourages everyone to be childlike. that's how I started tapping into all these creative ways to have fun, to learn, or to just spend my time away from the internet and to connect with myself and challenge myself. I started by tapping into what I really enjoyed as a child. Then I took it from there and I grew from there. And I'm not gonna say that I am perfect now or I figured it out. I'm always open to learning, experimenting, and just figuring things out along the way, because that's just the whole process of learning. To just also emphasize on something, this is not really an exhaustive list of what I do on my off days. There's probably more than this, and unfortunately I can't fit it in this tiny video. But this is just an idea of the things that I really enjoy doing, that really bring me peace, joy, and just enthusiasm. I really encourage you to also tap into your childlike self and experiment with what you like, what you enjoy during the week and whenever you do it. I also want to say that I'm so grateful for your support during this time. The comments, the likes, and everything like that doesn't go unnoticed. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for that. And I just want to wish you a very amazing week, a peaceful week, a healthy week. Please don't stop taking care of yourself, staying prayed up, and just keeping your distance if you can, and staying at home if you can. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to be anything you want to be.